Alright, here we are. Another day, another amount of work I get done. Not so much on the car itself. It's still, you're still waiting on the guy to come get it to take it off to have it painted. What I did decide to work on is this. This is the door panel. The lower door panel. Passenger side. You might notice it looks a little bit different from the driver's side. More ways than one. Yeah, it looks a little different, huh? Well, both of them look the same before I started, and now one of them looks almost brand new. I wouldn't say completely brand new because, yeah, this has got some big pits, some scratches, really weird wavy lines in it, some little scratches and stuff over here, a bad one right there. But hey, like I said, this is not supposed to be a show car where everything's brand new. This is a car that's been on the road, but just still looks good. So this is the original passenger side door panel. All I did was take water, some super clean, or purple power, whatever you want to call it, it's all the same, a couple of rags, a scuff pad, Scotch-Brite pad, 2 things of steel wool. That one's like what's left of the first wad. That's the second one. And a little bit of the wire brushing, but not too much, not so much out here, but just right over here. And that was because the carpet, as you can see, was glued in there and stapled, of all things. But I guess they stapled them and glued them, I don't know. I'm saving this so I can get me some decent color matching of the new carpet we get for the inside. I mean, for the floors, to try to match it, and we'll use that as a template to cut the new one out, or we can trace it on here, something. Anyway, so what I did first, I took the scuff pad and I scuffed it all off real good. I might show you this tomorrow when I do this one, but I might not. Depends on if I have time to set up the camera or if I have other things I have to take care of. So bear with me on that. I know you haven't really been seeing a whole lot of in progress or stuff, video footage of me working on it, but believe me, I am working on it. Well, I was. As I said, we got the bed pretty much ready for its decent spraying, and then our neighbor came by and told us about the guy, said he'll paint the whole thing for $1,000, so woo, we're just still waiting on the guy to show up. We're most likely, it's most likely because he told us that, hey, he was waiting for us to tell him. Our neighbor told us, like, we're waiting on y'all to tell me what to do. Or tell me to call him. I said, oh, we're ready. And he's like, oh, okay, no problem. I'll call him right now. So hopefully he'll show up this weekend. Because he hasn't called us or anything, but he's a body guy, so he probably does a lot of cars and stuff. So he's probably working during the week. So anyway, enough about that. We'll get it out there soon. Anyway. Oh, on another note, it has a little bit of an engine problem now. It had that gasoline in there for a long time. It didn't run much, but it doesn't take a whole lot for it to get hurt. Anyway, back to the door panel. So first you take the scuff pad and you scuff all this nasty powdery stuff off as best you can. And after that, you start doing the whole thing over again with the steel wool. That's my mom. She just showed up. 1 second. Sorry about the interruption. Anyway, so you take the Scotch pad, scuff off as much as you can, much of this powdery stuff, as much as you can. Then you take the steel wool and you do the same thing, scuff off as much as you can. Then soak it down with water. Of course, you do this after you remove the carpet, obviously. Oh, I'm sorry. Before all that, after you remove the carpet, you got to take all the glue that's stuck on there for 30 years off. And I used a combination of a scraper with a razor blade, and also used my wire brush there to get that glue off of there as best I could. Anyway, so after you do that, then you do the scuff pad all over everything really good, then the steel wool all over everything really good. Then soak it down with water, super clean all over everything, let it soak for a minute, and you take the first thing of steel wool, which is this one here, which is kind of like more of a rougher steel wool than... you can do both. The reason I use both steel wools, I don't know what the numbers are, I'll have to look at them later, that one, which is like really fine, and the other one here is really, really coarse. The coarse one is for getting the really nasty, like this black crap and this nasty mold off of here. Sorry about that second interruption. Anyway, so the coarser steel wool is to get the stuff, get the powdery stuff off, like this buildup, all this nasty white powdery disintegrating plastic off as best you can. The coarser stuff is to make everything smooth as possible. Now this, like this over here, this you can see it's dry enough I can touch it, thankfully. This right here, I scrubbed, just try to get that out, but it's just, things like this are just not going to come out. I could put some flexible putty in there, I suppose, to fill it in, but I don't care. It looks brand new, even with the scratches, so I don't care. And like I said, this isn't going to be a show car, so. See, all this along here was just like that, all that. Well, the white, that's like where the plastic has disintegrated, and the rest of the color is what's left. This is exactly what it was like right here. Should have done before and after, but I didn't think about it. Anyway, so the fine steel wool just smooths everything out really well, and then after the two dry rub downs, then you soak it with water and then super clean or purple power or whatever industrial cleaner. I call it purple stuff, purple whatever. I think it's called super clean, but don't hold me to that. I don't know any rights to that. Anyway, soak it down with that, let it sit for a minute. Then you take your coarse steel wool and you go over the whole thing and just get all this buildup of mold and nasty stains and stuff off as best you can. When you do that, it should look like something in this picture I'm about to show you. And once it looks like that, then you put your adhesive promoter on it. 2 coats each. Let the first coat dry, then the second coat dry. Then you put your first coat of paint, let that dry, your second coat of paint, and then voila, here it is. So you don't have to spend $600 to buy yourself a new one if you don't want the car. If you don't want it to be perfectly brand new, and you're just trying to make it look nice, there you go. Just like me. Yeah, this is an eyesore, but it doesn't bother me that much. If anybody asks, I'll say, oh, they're the original door panels. Hey, originality makes a car more unique, right? Anyway, that's all for today. Hopefully tomorrow I'll show you how I do that one in progress, if I have time. Anyway, thanks for watching.